Hey everybody, I'm Justin with CBI Off-Road and Prinsu Design Studio. Today we're installing a roof rack on this RZR 4-seater. Shouldn't take you longer than a couple hours. We'll go ahead and dive in, show you how to get it on there. All right, so now we're gonna get everything assembled, and you can also assemble it on the RZR itself, but since we got some help here, I like to do it on the ground and then set it up as one unit. So I'm gonna install the crossbars to the side rails. Just make sure that you're installing them on the smaller slots, and I don't like to install the ones over mounting feet until it's on the vehicle, just so you have full access to that mounting foot. I would recommend, because this is aluminum, using a ratchet or by hand. I'm gonna use an impact, but if you do, make sure it's turned down to its lowest setting so you don't strip out these bolts. So we'll go ahead and get this assembled. All right, so on the wind deflector, we have these T-nuts that are gonna go in the slot for this crossbar. Make sure you just install them with the threaded part facing up, and do the same with the Loctite on here that we did on the Torx bolts. All right, so our next step is we're gonna remove these bolts out of the factory cage in order to install our support bracket and our longer bolts with the nut on the other side. So this is a 15 millimeter, and the new stuff is also gonna be a 15 millimeter, so we'll go ahead and remove that. We won't fully tighten it down yet because we might need to move it around slightly to accompany the rack, but we'll get to that in the end when we tighten everything down. So our support brackets are installed. Now we're just gonna mark and drill the holes for our mounting bolts. I'm just using a 3/8 drill bit for this application. You can go a little bit bigger if your holes aren't quite lining up, but 3/8 is a good place to start. All right, so we got our holes drilled in the back going through the roof. Now we're gonna come to the front. We need to remove this Torx bolt. This is a T30. We're gonna take this out. There's a clip nut on the other side that we need to remove, and then we'll drill this out to our same 3/8 of an inch diameter. All right, so we got all our holes drilled, we're ready to go. We're just prepping to install the roof rack itself. I got our spacers here, and I'm just staging those on our holes so that when we set the rack into place, we're not fighting it, trying to get a spacer underneath it. So we'll go ahead and get these spacers on. Grab a buddy, setting the rack up. It's just kind of awkward and long and wide, so we'll get two guys, we'll set this in place and get all the bolts started. All right, so we got our rack in place. All the bolts are hand tight. I got everything aligned the way we want it. So I'm gonna go start tightening everything down, and then we'll get our wind deflector on and the rest of our crossbars, and this will be pretty much a done deal.
All right guys, we just finished up this Prinsu Roof Rack install on the RZR 4-seat. The color match looks excellent. This roof rack really fits a vehicle well. It's ready to be loaded down, hitting the trails. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment below if you got any questions. Thanks for watching.